Finally, hello and welcome to our webinar about the mobile key to success in coworking. My name is Jochen Schurich. I'm from Tapkey, and my colleague.
I'm Roger Alvarez. I am also from Tapkey, head of apps. And we have remotely Katharina.
Hello.
And Christina from Cobot.
Hi there.
A quick glance at the agenda. The first part of the webinar will be our understanding of access control in coworking, about the needs and of the coworking operators. The main part of the webinar will be about the benefits of mobile access control, where we hear from Katharina about her experience of the Cowork AG and some insights of their coworkings. And the last part is more about the Tapkey add-ons, the marketplace, and the Cobot plugin, where Christina gives us useful insights about the plugin. The first part.
Yeah, we are going to start popping up one question. So in your screens, we want to know more about what issues or what type of problems are you having with your co-working spaces. If you have had contact with digital keys, this is a concept that is not widely spread. So we would like to get your perception about these two items. Katharina, can you tell us about the type of difficulties or what type of challenges have you faced with the access control in an automated way?
Yes, you started a poll. Is it right?
Yes.
Because I see here a poll.
Yeah.
Yeah, the difficulties, I think I go on the end of my presentation, but I can tell you a bit about the operation view of this site. Is that we have different systems like the booking system and the key system, and we try to make the processes together. So that's the main difficulty in this case.
Okay. So from your perception, Christina, have you seen any challenges from a Cobot perspective that are commonly applied to multiple co-working operators?
Yes, for our co-working space operators, one of the most common worries is that their clients, the people working and moving in their spaces, are not interrupted between their urgent meetings, between what they have to do in their workday. So really for us, what's super important is reliability and ensuring a smooth experience. And also something very trivial that we see in our own co-working space a lot is people running around with a phone in one hand or a key or a digital key and a coffee cup and their computer, trying to rush to a different floor on a different meeting. So having a really smooth solution with hardware and software collaborating is really important.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So this is quite interesting. So we have, I can end the poll and also share the results. Interesting that the digital keys in your co-working space with more than 80% with no. That's surprising. So that there's a lot of room for improvement, I would say. And also what the main topics are.
Okay, so I didn't think about these problems because we have we already have a digital key, so
Yeah.
the problems you listed here are not in my
Yeah, that's
because
good.
we don't have problems with lost keys or something like that.
Yeah, that's something that we will discover with the discussion. Definitely, it will be really insightful. This share of experience for the 80% of the people that don't have the digital key as a mindset. So
then you of course have to hand over a key. Costs of installation also is a big issue. Lost keys and the key. So this is something I think we expected from this poll. So when we then talk a little bit about the advantages of a mobile key, because at the end of the day, as Christina said, the coworker has to go in, go through a door, go to office and work and make money, and so it's just the key is just a necessity to be there. It has to be there. It has to work, and but we also think there are a lot more advantages of a digital key, which brings benefits to the operator, and we listed here some of the main advantages we see, what we hear from customers, like reception-free operation, weekly plans, the ad hoc. You book a meeting room and you want to immediately have access, and you want to invite people, and they should also have immediate access. And this can only be done with a digital key on your smartphone, because yeah, you receive the key and you'll be able to enter. But also there are some other
advantages for sure. There are advantages which are applicable for residential use, but when we talk about co-working, everything scales up. So we having access to conference rooms, fitness areas, any type of facilities provided by co-working spaces. This is also something available in a most effective way using a digital key. And also, we already talked was one of the biggest challenge, lost keys. So in this case, with a mobile key, the main point of information is the smartphone account. So if some key is lost, it's basically a matter of a click, and that user is no longer going to be dangerous for the space. And as an owner, you will always have tracking of everything that happens in your installation. So you see every unlock activity there.
And I guess as a co-working space operator, you want to have statistics of usage of whatever data you can use to optimize your co-working space.
Yes, for security and also for improving the experiences that you are offering inside of your installations.
Yeah. So a digital key, when you have it, you have to use it. And from Tapkey perspective, we have the Tapkey app, which is, in fact, it's an access control system on your smartphone in your pocket, which you can manage from everywhere, but which can also be connected to booking platforms. But it's the perfect keyring app we see on the smartphone to give easy access. You can use NFC or NFC tags or the app. It's pretty cost efficient because you don't need any additional infrastructure. You don't need any special Tapkey router or cabling or installations which are necessary to use it. Just install a lock, use your smartphone, and you're ready to go.
Yeah, you don't need also a team maintaining that installation, because sometimes you not only pay for the router, but you need somebody that is keeping this working 24/7. So that's good.
Yeah. So also the data stays in the European data space. We are hosted in the EU. The technology behind Tapkey is very robust. So we provide offline capable keys also on the smartphone. And so if you have no connectivity, because maybe there is no connectivity in the area where the lock is installed, for example, in the basement, or you have an outage, so your network connectivity is going down, but you have a key and you paid for the office and you want to enter it. And so we see this as a huge advantage that we are offline capable.
Yeah, so we are also highly secure. Our protocols are audited, and we have our technology is completely reliable. We cannot, nobody's going to have access to your installations without the permission granted by owners or by the operation itself. And our application is translated to 16 languages, so everybody can use it without any learning curve or something like that.
Yeah. Now we have the digital key, but you need a physical door lock because otherwise you cannot get in. And there we have a growing product portfolio which meets all security and certification requirements, because in buildings you have you need certifications for fire protection, you need certifications for emergency exit, for things where we don't even think about it, but these requirements are there, and so we work together with well-known hardware manufacturers. You see here, Dome has a broad portfolio for building access, and they fulfill all the requirements necessary for co-working spaces or for public places. Yeah, and
yeah, here I wanted to elaborate more about what is cloud-based, because we have mentioned it some slides before, and what it implies. So basically, cloud-based means that our logs using the mobile application are connected to a set of servers which are maintained by the Tapkey team, using some well-known provider, which is Azure. But this is the specific element that allows us to have logs plug and play. So you just purchase the log, you install the log in your door, and everything is going to be handled by Tapkey. So it implies that you don't need to be investing constantly in security patches. The installation and servers are managed by Azure with a Tapkey inside, and we have a bigger SLA support. So the operation is going to work 24/7. What is the impact of this type of solutions, this automated type of solutions? So you as a co-working operator, you will be able to invest more in the community building, because you don't need to be attentive of your technical solution, and you also can be more focused in your business and scalability and growth of the business and the spaces. So that's mainly what is cloud-based. Yep.
Well, then we come to the second part about highlight more of the benefits of mobile access in the perspective for co-working space operators. I mean, we always have we always have to find a balance between flexibility, convenience. So it should be as open as possible, and on the other side, it has to be as secure as possible. And this is quite an imbalance. The more secure it is, the more inconvenient it is, and vice versa. So,
so it's like having the contrast between having the most secure solution is having a solution full of walls, and the most flexible solution is not having a wall at all. So you can walk every place that you want to be. So that's the main thing. So this is a general issue that we can see, or a general opportunity that we see in co-working spaces specifically. I don't know, Katharina, if you have faced this type of issue, this type of challenges. And
yes. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, basically that's it. So the flexibility is really about how does it impact co-workers? How are they able to access the resources offered by the co-working space in an easy way? And then we have the security, which is how protected are the spaces about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we really believe that we've found a good balance between convenience and security. And because when we started developing the technology and the Tapkey solution, we always had the focus on ease of use. The more complicated it is to use, the more mistakes you can make. For a user, it should be absolutely clear what happens, who has access, when has he access, and all that stuff. And so this convenience on the one side, but we have also a very strong security on the other side. And we also follow all the data protection rules, which are very necessary and good to have it in Europe. And we also can be easily integrated into the flow, into the booking platforms, that it can be fully automated to grant access. So if a customer books on the Cobot platform, his co-working space, his meeting rooms and other resources, automatically the keys are sent to the user. And then if he refuses to pay, you are able to revoke access, and and you have a full control over your co-working space.
Yeah, I want to give emphasis on one more thing about costs. So costs are not only what is directly getting out of your wallet, but also what is the cost of a mistake in a key handover, or what is the cost of a lost key that is all over the place, and then you need to replace all of your access to your installations. So that's something always to keep in mind. Investing in security, it's also pretty important.
Yeah, and also we have features. We think that features like a clear dashboard, reporting, etc., is necessary to have an overview about your security, an overview about all the people having access, and
the occupancy of the installations.
Yeah. So these are mainly the points we think they're most important, and we want to get a quick step into each of that.
Yep.
And also, Katharina and Christina, if you have any ideas or any input, just jump in and let us hear about their thoughts.
Security, that we just talked about security. So with mobile keys, we accomplish a centralized key management. So you are always aware of who has access to the installations at any time. And encryption and smartphone protection. So our protocols are encrypted, so there are no security risks in the middle of the communication. And you have always access to monitoring what's happening in your facilities. Who opened one door, and if some malicious users is trying to attempt there. Yeah.
And that's what Christina said, reliability. It's 99% is not enough for a coworker, because 99% means that 100 coworkers want to go in and one stays outside. So it needs to be really available, it has to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah. What happens with power outages? So this is always the question when we are thinking about technological solutions. So our application and our solution, it's always prioritizing this scenario. So the keys are offline operable. So once the users have the smartphone, they have the key and they are able to go to the installation if there's no internet connectivity.
I think also this is somewhere Katharina will take a look at, to have a very convenient solution for the customers, for the users. And the management of installations, the remote check-ins, all the processes around the co-working space is they're quite complex, and so that's why we integrated with platform providers, and they are highly experienced in having a platform supporting all these processes necessary for co-working spaces. And we focus on the security, on the key, that the key is as secure and as convenient as possible. We call it like a seamless experience, so that
the operation is focused on the main platform of management, and access is going by free if everything is properly set up.
Yeah. So, and having one leading system can provide for the customers a branded experience. It's I think good for the co-working space operators to have their brand in the foreground and have a unified experience for the co-working spaces.
Yeah, I think building a co-working space is almost like building a community. Maybe Katharina can elaborate more. Do you have any thoughts about this, like importance of having a branded experience and this user journey in co-working spaces?
Yeah, it's a part of the marketing. So our branding is important, and it's good that the Tapkey is such as formable that we can show our brand also in these processes like the access management.
Okay.
And at the point we have seen that the budget is quite important, and of course it's we hear it a lot. So and the budget it doesn't only mean to buy a lock and that's it. So there are also a lot of things around which have impact on the budget. So the infrastructure, the ease of installation, how long does it take? What personnel do I need to operate it or to install it and then to operate it? And here I think we have quite good products in place. It's super easy, and I would recommend just try it. At the end of the webinar, we have a
surprise.
A surprise.
Okay.
To get it in the stage to test it and see really how easy it is to install a lock and to operate this lock and to connect it to a platform like Cobot and how easy it can get.
Yeah, I can confirm this because I just install a lock by myself. You just have view the video guide, and then you know how to change the lock and install the Tapkey.
Oh, cool.
It's
great to hear.
very easy.
Yeah, and the last one, security.
Yeah, the flexibility. It's that having a platform that is flexible enough. It doesn't always. It's not only about the operator. So we need flexibility as operators because maybe we are growing and we need a platform that is robust enough for following that growth, but also from the coworkers. So they want to be, everything should be really nice to use. So we want a platform that also can offer some seamless experience with the spaces. So maybe I am traveling from London to Germany, and there is another branch from the same co-working network, and I should be able to access it. Otherwise, I will need to go and ask for a key, and it will be very difficult to handle. So the remote assistance is one of the key parts. Yep.
Yeah.
As a conclusion, we have all of these values that are brought by the mobile keys. And as a consequence, we have a sustainable business growth from coworkers, and also it is good for coworkers. By consequence, it's good for owners, and the coworker operators can be focused on business.
And to give you just an idea, we have a lot of co-working spaces out there already using Tapkey. Just a few brands, Vespa Spaces, for example, or Restart Spaces are using Tapkey. Werkfrei, Works Coworking, and of course, Cowork AG is hopefully happy Tapkey user.
Hopefully.
And so here I would like to hand over to Katharina, that you tell us a little bit about your experience and insights.
Yeah, sure.
You need to stop sharing.
Yeah, all the advantages you mentioned are the reasons why we decide to have Tapkey in our spaces. And I prepared a small presentation, waiting for the access to the...
I make you the host. Now you can share the screen. Yeah, perfect.
You can see your screen now.
So I start the presentation. You see the sheet?
Yeah,
Yes.
full screen.
Good. So yes, thank you for invitation to give a short look inside our operation view to the digital access management and the locking systems we have in our spaces. About us, we are the Cowork AG, it's a company, and we run different spaces on different locations. We, for now, run 29 co-working spaces, including the partner spaces we operate and run, and we have 7 spaces in the development phase. We operating different brands. The Works co-working spaces is our own concept we developed, and we run the own spaces. So in these spaces we can make all decisions by ourselves, and we have partners for we work, and yeah, that's the GESO-Works partner spaces. That's project with the GESO Bau. It's the housing association of the federal state of Berlin, and it's the concept for the tenants of the GESO Bau, or people who want to work nearby home and not just work from home. So that's the main the main reason we share these spaces. And also we run, or we operate, the Everywork spaces for the Deutsche Bahn, the German railway company, and it's a concept that you can use a co-working space directly in the co-working in the railway stations. So that's located directly in the spots where many travelers and business travelers are the users of these co-working spaces. In all of the co-working spaces in our own locations, we use Tapkey, and the advantages you named. It's the reason because we decide for this. And yeah, we use Tapkey since 2017. And the other ones that you see here, these are the smart locks that are already installed by the building, or are provided because of the infrastructure of our partner and the building there. Yes. And our Tapkey systems are in different practical uses. For example, the access to the building is the main factor, because we have many users and co-working, and every one of them enters to the main entrance to get in the building. And inside of the building, we have different areas, different rooms, and they are mostly locked by a door. And we have, for example, open space areas or meeting rooms where you can work or collaborate. And also we offer private offices. These are locked and lockable private offices. And also we have some areas where we also use, for now we are in implementation to use other solutions to lock, for example, a cage for putting his bicycle in it or the underground garage. Also, we have lockers and mailboxes in our spaces, or we offer them, but in this case, we have no digital smart locks, because of the high investment for each small locker or each small mailbox.
We have to reach out to our hardware manufacturers to provide, affordable locks for the boxes.
Yeah, the lockers and mailboxes are mainly a low price segment where you can think, or you must see twice if it's efficient, or if you are.
Yes, we are fully aware of that. So this is a price sensitive segment.
Yeah.
Of course, yes.
So, but the importance why we go fully of digital locking systems is it's the decisive for the competition, because it's part of the works concept that we offer the 24/7 access for everyone, and the main factor is the cost for the personnel costs, and we can reduce the personnel costs with the solution of the app, because everywhere we have a physical or personal touch point, you need staff or the time to communicate individually, and this is, in my view, the biggest adventure of the digital app solution, that everything is online and you can manage it from everywhere, from the back office. You are not in the need of a physical folder, for example, to document who gets what key, and you don't need to manage a lot of keys, because where you have a lot of customers and users in a co-working space, you will have a lot of keys, and that's the main factor why our decision to only use digital locking systems.
So it means that there's a trend to receptionless co-working spaces. Digital key supports this transition to a more receptionless. Yeah,
we have co-working spaces with staff and opening hour, and these are service operated. And we also have co-working spaces like a satellite system where the location is mostly autonomous, where long stay co-workers like membership work, and they just have to get the access and the knowledge how to use this, and then they are autonomous and can work and access whenever they want.
Cool. Yeah,
the challenges and requirements that we give to the digital locking system, or we have, is the central control and the management that our space manager or our space management staff can have a central overview of all accesses and all of the locks, also in the maintenance and the installation, because when somewhere have to change the battery or something, then it will sign, hey, my battery is low, please change. And that's very easy and good for the central control. Our we have two perspectives. Our perspective from the operating view, so that our staff or also the service staff from the cleaning service, for example, so that we can automate, assign some rights or rules or yeah, like this. And also on less frequented locations, I mentioned that we can remotely give them an access and don't have to be on site. Yes, and a main factor is also the integration in the space management software, so that we can reduce the personnel cost in the process view. Yeah, and these are our requirements, and I think Tapkey and Cobot are the good combination. And I find a bridge to Christina.
Okay, thank you so much.
And the presentation.
Yeah, now I need to.
Yeah, you can also share.
Okay. Right. So I need to. Oh.
There's a question in the chat. How long does it take for a key to arrive at a smartphone?
Yeah, it is. It really depends on the network connectivity. So if the smartphone is connected to internet, it happens immediately.
Yes.
So there is no waiting time that we can quantify really. So the only reason why it is not reaching the phone is because you have no internet connection.
Yeah. For example, when I visited other location, other co-working space, then I just have to call our co-working space manager. Hey, I'm in Berlin at this and this location. Could you give me an access? And then he click, and then I have the access, the key on my phone.
Yeah. So, Katharina, you need to make me as a host again. Then
okay.
You can relocate the Tapkey participant, and there are some dots top right corner of the thumbnail, and then you can make host. Reclaim host.
Now I can reclaim also the host. Now I'm the host again, and I share my screen. So, Katharina, thank you very much for the insight. And now we take a quick look at the add-on marketplace. And we heard a lot about integration, seamless integration, that access control is integrated in the processes in the background. And the integration can be done by the platform provider, or it can be done by Tapkey. And we have made a lot of, we are also in the process of doing a lot of integrations, which are done by Tapkey, developed by Tapkey, and maintained by Tapkey, and we call it certified by Tapkey. And Roger is in charge of all these add-ons and integrations, and so I think it's
good plans for myself. Okay, so we decided to go one step beyond. So the autonomous operation that was described by Katharina can only happen if there is a central place where the access is granted. In the case of co-working spaces, we have examples like Google Calendar, which is not suitable for everyone. So we have Cobot. We have Christina from Cobot here. Cards, which is an upcoming add-on, Archie. So they are platforms which are really focused on the co-working business. And the idea is that all of the operation happens in the co-working software. In this case, we have an example where the Cobot integration is where the coworking operator is going to do everything. The people is going to be subscribed to plans. People is going to do bookings, and they are going to be automatically created in Tapkey. So as an operator, you won't need to go to one platform, create a booking, then go to Tapkey and create the access. So everything is going to happen automatically, and by consequence, users are going to get the access to the app. As we answered the previous question, that access and these keys are going to reach the phone immediately. So maybe Christina, you can talk a bit more about Cobot, the integration and how it helps.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to. Also, by the way, thanks, Katharina, for giving a little glimpse into your spaces, because we've been working together remotely and distantly for a long time, but I never get a chance to see the spaces yet. So really cool to see how it works in action. Yeah, Roger explained the basics already of the integration. And Cobot is one of those management software solutions. And that means we're not doing anything about hardware, but we are the place where our spaces manage all the data of their members, of the invoices, and of the co-working products they sell to them. So when I say members in Cobot, that is our term for the co-workers, the people who work in the space, who have memberships, who make bookings. So Cobot manages those memberships and all the extras, all the benefits and access rights that come with them. And we're also a booking platform. So the most typical use case for bookings are meeting rooms, but also smaller phone booths or larger event spaces, or really any other resource that your space offers for rent. Like might be a bike, might be an e-car, a workshop with tools. Okay, cool. So all these members and all these people that are renting things and using doors in the space have to open a lot of locks all the time with very different access rights. And for us, really, where we see the value of working together with Tapkey is the automation magic that happens when our admins have to enter and manage all the data only once. Yeah, perfect. That really shows what's happening. So to give you a few examples, if your space grows, if you have a new membership signed up, you assign them their plan, their membership benefits. You typically define how many meeting rooms they can access at what time. They might have general 24/7 access to the shared area and maybe also to their personal office that they're renting. So all of this we can set up in Cobot, and the moment they start the membership, there's also a contact created in the correct access group in Tapkey. And more than that, and Katharina also showed that in her use cases, it's not those long-time general membership settings, but also those very short-term, very specific bookings. For an example, a person in the space books a meeting room tomorrow from 5 to 6. Yeah, wonderful. Here it is tomorrow from 2 p.m. for 1 hour, desk room 1. That booking is made in Cobot. You see it there in your admin calendar. The member sees it in their calendar, can cancel it, can change it, and Tapkey syncs with that and makes sure that the person can also enter the room at specifically that time. And also, you talked a lot about security. Important, of course, if a member is canceled or the access rights are removed, then that also goes immediately to Tapkey, so the person cannot enter anymore.
Yeah, that's magic. So for the co-working managers, it's that they only get focus in the tool where they are using daily. They don't need to go one time to Cobot and then make sure that everything is in Tapkey. So we are doing it behind the scenes.
Yeah. By the way, a little shout out to all the really interesting questions, and my colleague Laura, our head of support, who's really our expert internally for all Tapkey questions and has collaborated really closely with Roger too on building the integration, just chimed in. So if you have any very specific questions, then Laura is here to help too.
Okay. Thank you very much. I mean, this is, I love this integration. So that you have one leading system, you do everything in one system, you make a booking, and if you move the booking on your calendar from one day to the next day, also the access rights follow the booking fully automated. So you do not need to to make a booking in one system and then go to the next one. So it's a smooth and easy process for the operator, and also then of course for the coworker. I think we.
Do you answer the questions directly in the chat in texting, or do we?
No, we do it.
answer them
We now
here?
have them in Q&A.
There's one question, is there any way to visualize the occupancy of the installations?
Well, I would say we now come to the Q&A section where we answer, take a look at these questions. And while we are answering these questions, I want to open another poll and ask you about
what will be the integration that you wish we have in Tapkey? So that's the question. So
if you have one wish and say, hey, we need an additional add-on for Tapkey, connect me to
the space
or I don't know, Microsoft
other booking
Active Directory or something like that. I want this add-on is on my wish list and I really need it to operate my co-working space. You can deposit your wish here, and yeah, we take a look at our roadmap and see if we can
make it happen.
So we have some questions.
Is there any way to visualize the occupancy of the installations? The answer is yes. We have just released one version of the web portal. We are currently naming it Tapkey AG, and there you will see the occupancy of the installation in with a specific graphic or a chart split.
So there's a dashboard where you see how many access has been granted within this the period of time. But I would guess that in the management platform, where you also see a little bit more data about booking.
In the financial side also.
And probably you can, the data could be connected and to get a better picture of the usage scenarios of the co-working spaces.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe to add from our example, and true for other management softwares too, we show occupancy data, but it's then based on our bookings, which might or might not always be connected to a log. But so based on the actual bookings made, we show that data and also have some visualizations.
Great.
And also from Laura from Cobot, she said that she will answer any questions we can.
Yeah. What if a meeting runs over? Is there like a buffer time after a meeting? And the answer is yes. In the integration that we prepared, you can configure the list of logs that are going to be linked to a specific plan, membership plan, or a specific bookable resource. Let's call it that way. It's one room that has a door. And there you can set the buffer time before and buffer time after. So you can say like, this room is really away from the entrance door. So you are going to prepare a significant buffer time, like 10 minutes before the meeting starts. And then when the users receive the access, they will receive the access with this buffer time added at the beginning and at the end. You are able to modify this.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit time ahead of the meeting, that you can enter the meeting room and prepare your laptop and your presentation, stuff like that. And after the meeting, typically someone left his smartphone or something inside, or his laptop wallet, then you still can open the meeting room again and walk in and grab your stuff. So yes, you can, but you can define it for every bookable resource independently. So if you say this meeting room, it has exact time, then it's that, then you have it that way. The next meeting room, you can have a margin before and after the meeting defined.
There's one more question that's very interesting. Can I add multiple resources if a person books a room but needs access to more than just one log, for example, for the meeting room and the main entrance or something like that?
Yes, maybe you can go back to slides before.
Can we go back to this?
But a bit one before, the configuration of the resources happens in one-to-many. So you can have a specific door, and this door can be linked, for instance, to the entrance door of the main building, and also the specific door that is blocking that specific resource. You can add as much as you need. So that's
so all the way from the main entrance door to the meeting room, the many doors are in between. You can grant access to them. Just list it to this resource, and you automatically get a key.
With resources, it is linked to access paths. But when you are a member of a co-working space, then we are talking about which facilities I have access to. If I have access using the premium plan to the bike storage or something like that, there you can also add multiple benefits there.
Okay, the last question is, are permissions for logs given in Cobot or Tapkey? Yeah,
the main question will be like, it is preferred that the permissions are happening in Cobot, if you have that integration happening, because there you are focused on your operation. So the permissions are going to be based on your memberships and are going to be based on your bookings. But yeah, chances are that you need a specific maintenance window from a technician, and in that case, you need to go to Tapkey and add that specific permission, because that person doesn't obey to any of the previous use cases.
Yeah. There's another question. Is there a maximum amount of users I can manage with Tapkey and Cobot? Katharina, is there a...
Christina,
sorry, is there a maximum number of users, a limit in Cobot?
Great question. If there is, we haven't reached it yet anywhere. So of course, the amount of users, so Cobot works as a subscription based on how many members you're managing. So if your subscription is maxed out, then and you keep adding members, you'll have to upgrade the plan. But that's a limit purely on the Cobot subscription. Technically, I do not think there is a limit, or at least I wouldn't be aware of that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
From the Tapkey perspective, the same. You have a user package, number of maximum users you need for your co-working space. But technically, I think there is absolutely no limit.
We don't have
for the sky's the limit.
I also have a question. When you book a meeting, then you are allowed to access because of your email address. And is this only the access for the meeting host, or is it possible, for example, to add some guests or something that the guests have access to the main door, that the meeting host don't have to open the door for every guest? Or is this a further idea, for example, between Cobot and Tapkey? That's a use case I just think of.
Yeah, it's a very good one. And I can speak from experience, because in our own office, we have that occasionally that, for example, the office manager books the room, but another team member needs to go in there first. At the moment, there's only workarounds, and it's for sure a feature request to have an invite feature on the Cobot side. I'm not sure if there are any tricks or tips from Tapkey side to make that easier already.
Yeah,
if so, I'd love to hear them too.
Yeah, we haven't yet. The best way is to make it happen in Cobot side, because otherwise it will happen in a very kind of invisible way, because then you get focused into the main system, and everything that happens in Tapkey is kind of hidden. There are some additional integrators that have implemented some workarounds, which is a guest list, but there you are able to invite somebody else, but there is not a full.
Yeah, I would also say it's I would see it as a part of the leading system, of the booking system, to allow non-members to enter the building and and walk to the meeting room. From the Tapkey perspective, we do what the leading system says. So
yeah,
if the Cobot platform says grant access to 30 people for one meeting room, then we send out the keys to 30 people.
okay.
And yeah.
Then I have one other idea or question for
Yeah.
Cobot. When you send the confirmation of a booking, for example, via email, is it possible to add some content, for example, a short explanation of how to use the Tapkey app? Because we have a switch between the booking and you have to install the app. So maybe there's a short introduction for the users, that they receive a booking confirmation with a short introduction to install the Tapkey app to access the building or the meeting room.
Yes, got it. So just to clarify, you mean the email that is sent if a person makes an individual booking, or when they're first joining as a member?
For external meeting bookings.
Yes, we do have a message that goes out, and I need to double check in the app later, but I'm 99% sure that it can be customized too, because that's usually the default for all the emails we send. And then that would be a place to add a custom message with a little explanation. Another helpful trick we recommend is using the help center in Cobot. Because you can have public and private pages in the help center where you describe certain processes, how to set up apps, where to download them. So definitely don't use a public help center page for adding sensitive information for an individual. But that works really well to give general instructions. For example, go here, download the app.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, we from Tapkey side have also a help center. If someone has any kind of problem, I hope we tackle them all. But if you how to install the app, how to open a door, how to there's a lot of how to, also videos to show how to use it.
Yep. Yeah. Just in the email template, I guess Cobot allows for customized email templates in multiple situations, and it is already part of the Help Center article that part of the installation in Tapkey is to add links to the stores and that kind of things.
So I think this was, we are at the end of all the questions from
one question is left.
I think there might be two. One more just came in. I'm not sure if the events one is focused on Cobot or a general question. But for what I can add from the Cobot side, I would actually love to understand what would be a good solution here for the spaces, because we just expanded our events feature. It's now possible for internal and external visitors to attend events. And not all parts of that are integrated with door access yet. So using a door wedge is a very practical solution that makes sense that it's not always the securest or heat saving solution. And we're currently looking exactly into this, how to integrate events as well and automate doors there, but we're still understanding the use case. So if this was targeted for Cobot, then please reach out to us, and we would happy to find a solution together.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, we could also think about integrating the office mode, which is a special mode for Tapkey, where you unlock a door and then it stays open until a time is reached, and then it automatically a locks.
It's going to lock one more time.
Yeah, so probably this could be an option, but yeah, this is it's a good idea to have that. And from Peter, there is can you give office rights to users?
Yeah, I cannot.
Maybe Peter, if you can
elaborate more in additional question, it will be great, Peter. About what is your understanding on office rights?
Or maybe this is some kind of the office mode, I don't know.
Yeah, but currently, if it is about office mode, Tapkey offers something that is named office mode. That it's basically you open the door at the beginning of the day, and the door remains open until somebody closes. That's the office mode. In terms of integration, we don't have it available. So if you want to give permissions using this type of permanent opening, this is something that you need to do manually in the Tapkey application. As Johan mentioned, maybe it is suitable for events or this type of element of scenarios.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Katarina or Christina, anything else you want to mention?
Just a thank you. Like the questions were already really insightful, and also to us, it's always great to see the partners and spaces we work with this in person and understand the use cases a bit better. So thanks so much, and again, the invitation to reach out if we can answer any other questions.
Also from my side.
Yeah, also from our side, thank you very much for attending. And I just can say thank you very much. You see the email addresses also from Cobot. Christina and Laura, just get in touch with us or with the colleagues from Cobot, and we can help you in answering your questions or help you installing or digitize your co-working space.
Yeah, thank you so much.